Well, brother, let me tell you something. Welcome to Real Weird Sickos, live from Weirdsville, USA, Sicko Town. That's us. Charles Kahn, Masked Bastard, that's me. And Jenna,
hey,
Dojangles.
What's that?
We also dragged into the bathroom our good friend.
Is this live?
Our good friend.
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on? Live from the bathroom in the back of Charles's outhouse is me, SumitoMedia.
It's a real nice shitter I got here, isn't it?
I wish it was more than one seat. The fact that we have to sit on top of each other, like, why do we have three different mics? We could just use one mic.
You'd think we'd share one mic, but
your budget priorities were all over the place with the set, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, it actually there's no echo though because it's wood. That's what I like about it.
That's true.
It's an old-fashioned wood outhouse, and some of the urine sprinkles have like soaked into the wood, so it makes it where there's just like no fucking echo.
See, Jenna, this is artisan, handcrafted. This is artisanal. Like that's what this is. Okay, this is this is fine craftsmanship here. I
think I saw this method of soundproofing on an episode of Townsend's. Actually, they used to do this back in the 1400s.
Oh my god. Well, now so. Sumeto, it's been a while. You were on here before?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
A returning guest, our brother from another mother.
our cousin from another family.
Yeah, our cousin.
Because he looks like somebody that we know.
Who? I've never heard this comparison before in my life.
Is that meme getting
old? Who does Sumeto look like? Who does he look like?
I actually really, first of all,
is it someone more sus than a character from Among Us?
Good God, no. Are you trying to say everybody looks like? Is that what you're trying to say, Charles?
Yeah,
I would
Charles,
never say that.
You ninja turtle.
That's kind of fucking racist.
Easy with that N-word, pal. That's our word.
I mean, you gotta get tired of that sometimes, huh? Like, genuinely?
I mean, I get tired of it in that, like, it's not a great joke. I don't get tired of it when people are making that.
You look like that other guy.
I like it when people make comparisons in a way that's like they'll make a meme. Like if you even take the time to make any image and add text over it, it's like, okay, fair enough. But if it's just like completely unrelated tweet and it's just, yo, aren't you some ordinary gamers? It's like, dude, touch grass, man.
I know.
It's 2022 for fuck's sake.
Have you ever gotten that has anybody ever like said that to you in like the wild ever?
Not like walking around. No, nobody's actually mistaken me for Mutahar yet. But
doing the laugh.
The first time I was watching, my fucking voice doesn't go up that high. I've tried. The first time I was watching one of Mutahar's videos, it wasn't that long ago. He's been making videos forever, but I actually didn't start watching any of his stuff until after the first person in my comments was like, wait a second, is this Mutahar's second channel? And I was like, who is this? And then I looked him up. Like a week later, 2 weeks later, he's uploading a video on some video game that I found interesting, so I'm watching it. My girlfriend walks into the room, and she's like, who the fuck is that, and why does he look so much like you?
Exactly.
And up until this moment in time, I was like, oh, this comparison is just white people thinking that Indian people all look the same. And my girlfriend's Pakistani, so I was like, fuck, maybe there's some truth to this. Maybe this goes deeper than just two brown people.
I'll tell you a story, but like it's like the beginning of the year, and I don't know, we were somewhere and you posted a picture of you like take this L. You were at like a fucking like Hobby Lobby or some shit, and you did the take this L. And he sat there and he was scrolling on Twitter and he's looking at it and he goes, my brain just fucking broke for a second because I honestly thought that was me and I don't remember taking that picture. So you even broke his brain, kind of.
I hate this timeline.
I told you that story and you told me you didn't believe me, but it's true.
I still don't believe you. That's absolute nonsense. What the fuck? I
swear to God, he was like, he just sat there for a second just staring and he's like, my brain just broke for like a second. And I was like, why? I was like, oh my God, there are times where I'm scrolling and then like you would post a picture and I'll be like, oh, he just went to bed. Like, why is he? Oh, that's not him. Never mind. It has happened.
I think I just have too much context. I know that Mutahar's very rarely, if ever, posting any sort of fucking selfie on Twitter.
Yeah.
Sometimes. So I just know, like, it would feel too weird to see a picture of him on Twitter, other than the one or two memes of him fucking scream reacting. Like, if it's not that image, it's like, okay, that's not Mutahar, because nobody's posting any other picture of him on this site.
Do the laugh. But like, at least he's not like, at least nobody I really honestly hate the internet because everybody thinks it's just like, Indian guy, this one guy, not that there's like a fucking bajillion, brown people in the world.
I mean, I guess
everybody wants to make it like, oh wow, like, because there are YouTubers like, oh, we have to stick together. I was like, well, why? That's like me saying that I have to stick together with like a fucking woman just because she's a woman. Like,
Right.
who cares? Who the fuck cares?
I mean, I could definitely see a world where this joke becomes like painfully annoying if it weren't for the fact that Mutahar was such a pillar of the community, such a long-standing, well-respected YouTuber. Like if he was just like an Ali A, blew up from one thing and is now basically irrelevant, and the only comparisons I was getting was to this fucking Minecraft YouTuber from 2015 that nobody fucking talks about except for the fact that he kind of looks like me. I could see that getting annoying. But every time somebody makes this comparison, it's like, yeah, I'll fucking take that. Whatever. That's like you being like a small time rock band and everybody's like, yo, you kind of look like the lead dude from Skrillex, and it's like, all right, I'll fucking take it. What? That's a pleasant comparison I'll take.
Yeah, we have a friend who resembles Steve Aoki a little bit, and he gets it a lot.
God.
He acts like he gets it a lot. I feel like he said that before
Remember
somewhere.
that-
I don't know if that's real. I'm going to be
You
honest.
don't think that's real?
I'm not trying to start beef. I have never seen anybody in any context other than his bio for a period of time, and maybe still currently, but I've never seen anybody in the wild reply to his tweet and be like, I can't believe Steve Aoki would fucking tweet that. I've followed Justin Wang for several years. I've never seen that come up.
Well, he did. I can't remember. He posted it in a group chat where he was at a club. This was like this was a while back, and he was like, Steve Aoki and I are in the same room, and I was like, oh god, it's happening. It's fucking happening. The Spider-Man meme for real.
Yeah, if they kiss, that's the end of the world. It's like that. What's the one with Stifler where he was a time traveler when he touched? I think they kissed. When he kisses the other Stifler, that creates a singularity. You remember Stifler from American Pie? I can't think of the guy's name.
Was he the mom fucker?
Yeah. He was the one. It was his mom.
Was the one who?
Stifler's mom.
He was
is the meme,
Stifler.
Okay.
Yeah, Stifler.
Okay.
But the movie had The Rock in it. It was a really weird movie. God,
American
I can't
Pie?
think.
Yeah.
Southland Tales? That sounds right.
The joke? No. American Pie is
John Lovitz was in it.
The joke of American Pie is that he fucked the pie.
Right, but they're time travelers.
That's growing up. What?
He's a time traveler
I don't remember
who kisses.
Fucking time traveler in American Pie. What are you talking about?
All right,
talking about Southland Tales.
I've never seen American
Tales,
Pie.
He kisses himself, and it blows up the universe. It
so
creates a singularity.
I am so.
And that was the joke
confused.
I went with.
I'll take it. I mean, I haven't seen it, but I'll take it.
I'll give it.
Are you still?
If you'll take it, I'll give it.
Are you still streaming, Smut?
If I wasn't taking a short hiatus, yeah, I am still streaming.
I didn't know you were taking a hiatus.
I'm moving.
Oh, I didn't know
moving.
You're
that.
moving.
They're raising my rent $400, so
The rent is too damn high.
I've been priced out of this side of the city. I have to go move back to the other side of the city.
To go back to the other
$400.
side. Was the other side really that bad?
It's not bad. It's actually almost as nice. The only reason it's so expensive here is because I'm right next to Route 66 and 495. So this is like where everybody who has a nice corporate job wants to live. I moved in here because the rent was relatively cheap and the place was nice. But I moved in 2 years ago. So after year one, they were like, hey, we're raising your rent like $200. And I was like, bro, why? And they were like, cause you got in on like a really big discount of rent because of COVID. And now we kind of got to bring everybody to normalcy. And I bitched about it.
We have to go back.
Yeah. And then year two, they're like, hey, we're raising your rent another $200. And I was like, dude, fuck you. What is this nonsense? I'm not paying $2,000 for a 1-bedroom. And they were like, yeah, I mean, that's just what the market is now. And I was like, fuck you guys. So I'm moving to a new place. Yeah. It'll be permanent at the new place now. I actually got it up until like next week. So I'm like slowly moving my stuff in and like putting down carpeting and stuff. But I'm going to have my own room for YouTubing and what have you. I've got a green screen mounted to the ceiling and shit. I'm going to have carpeting.
I like this.
I'm going to have corner for podcasting, which will remain unused for the foreseeable future because I fucking hate doing podcasts on my own channel.
Hey,
it'll be
what's up?
great.
It's me, Sumito. Welcome to the podcast.
I just think, I don't know, I sort of try to pride myself on making videos in a manner and at a frequency that I think I can keep up for a long time. I don't want to end up in a situation like Internet Historian or Pyrocynical or, Emp Lemon or anybody who's like, their videos get so good that it almost feels like if they wanted to just sit down and talk about some goofy shit that's like, hey, this is funny, but it doesn't warrant a 45-minute well-edited documentary, but I think it's interesting. Let me make a video on it. Like, that's just not going to fucking fly on their main channels because the quality, the bar's been so fucking high. But then you look at somebody like...
You need your own incognito mode.
I don't like that idea either. Because it's like, I don't like the idea of... Because I don't think the stuff that I make at my best is good enough to warrant the stuff that I make that's like 20%, 30% more lazy to be on a completely different channel. My goal is to end up as somebody like Moist Critical or Mutahar that's like, if I want to do a relatively polished, well-edited thing, it goes on the main channel. If I want to just fucking ramble about stuff with a little bit of B-roll on the screen, it goes on the main channel because the main channel's for shit that I find interesting as opposed to like the production value and like, this is the channel for when I want to try, and this is the channel when I'm gonna get demonetized. Like I don't like that idea as much.
Want to try.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the way a lot of people are playing.
I think that's how most people
outlaw.
I think that's how most people start a second channel. They're like, hey, I want to make a good video on this, but it's about a Drake song or it's about fucking a child getting pizza or whatever. This isn't gonna fly on the main channel where I have brands and shit.
That kind of stuff where when it's like a news topic, he'll try to do that on the second channel rather than the first one. Just keep the first one like the series and things that he's doing. Like you're saying, like the Imp Lemon style of like, here's my banger video that I put all this effort and polish into. And then over on the other channel, it's just, I guess we'll talk about stuff.
I think
we'll talk about the state of YouTube.
And it works the other way because if you're like somebody like critical and then you do a well-polished video, people get mad. Like
really?
Your audience is, yes, that's what happened. Like Muta did a video he sent that out to an editor because he just kind of wanted to play around with it and people were pissed. They were like, this doesn't feel right. Like they just
didn't like it, huh?
I don't know if they were. I know the
video
you're talking about. I don't think they were. Well, I mean, maybe you know the analytics on like, it was actually bad. But just from looking at it from the comments, I think just there was like a little bit of issue with the editing. But I think people generally liked, like they thought it was fine. Like it was still just Mutahar talking for 40 minutes, which is what most of the videos would have been otherwise.
With music. And the music wasn't even really that loud, but I think it's just
the music was crazy fucking loud.
Having a music bed.
The music was
I didn't get that.
The music wasn't
loud
loud
were just
for like
not used to it. I think people weren't used to it, like him talking along with music because like when he records something, like he'll have it edited out in like an hour, and I don't know, like see that's the way that like a lot of I think kind of that's the way it kind of should be, without like over editing. Like I'm kind of at that point where it's just kind of like I think there are too many videos that are just overly edited. And it's not a completely bad thing in some cases.
See, I want to do like a whole thing with puppets and like have characters and recurring bits and like a little story that weaves through every episode of the series.
Why puppets?
Because puppets are fun, Jenna. You didn't grow up liking the Muppets?
No, I wasn't.
No, you don't like Kermit the Frog? Hello there. It's me.
I think
Kermit's a hard one.
I don't think I've ever seen like an episode of the Muppets.
Really?
No.
I don't think I've seen an episode of like
you guys.
I've
Are
seen Sesame
much
Street.
younger than me, though. You're much younger than me, so
are we?
I think so. I think you guys are like 4 or 5 years younger than me.
Yeah, I think you got to be like 40 plus to say me and Jen are way younger.
See, I feel like there's a huge generational gap there because
I'm pushing
Nick
30.
at Night. Right,
Yeah,
you're
31,
pushing
so.
30. I'm 35.
Yeah, it's
Nick
not
at
that
Night.
much older.
Okay, so you're 4 years older than me. You're not like super. Gap.
That's a million years in internet terms.
I'm
One
27, so we could
million
argue
years.
there's like almost 10 years of a difference there. But I think it's just. I think Muppets were maybe Muppets were 10 years earlier than me. I don't know. I watched Sesame Street. That's where I know a few of the characters, but not
Sesame Street is still fucking going on.
Muppets are one of those things that I only know through Family Guy jokes. I don't actually know the source material.
Oh God, Family Guy.
You know what? My recommendeds are fucking destroyed because I
just
went through
Family
watching like the fucking shorts, and it just like it's destroyed. All of my recommendeds are destroyed now. And then like all of this like fucking Queen shit because I got into like a rabbit hole a couple of days ago after
Jenna.
the Queen.
Oh.
So it's like my recommendeds are just so fucked right now because it was like, well, what did happen with like Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. Like, what did she say on the interview and all this other shit? And then it
What
was
did
like,
she say? Did she say something like scandalous?
well, she said the Queen was nice to her, so I don't know like where stuff is coming
she's
from.
Just
and then
nice. She's the Queen of freaking England. She's gonna say she's nice.
I have no idea. All I know is that actually today is actually 9/11, and like the Queen's coffin is like going on a fucking world tour. Like it's gonna be like
Wait,
another
what?
probably. Yes, she's like her body is in Scotland right now. I'm not. I shit you not. I shit you not. She has done more traveling dead than some people ever will, like in their life. Like it's like her coffin's in Scotland, and then it's gonna make its way back to London, and then it's gonna go somewhere else. She's not gonna get buried for like at least another week and a half.
Did you see the thing? Maybe this is common knowledge, but did you see the thing about like, I don't know any of the royal people's names, but like her husband like died a while ago and they didn't say shit about it. And then like many years later, or like just up until last year, they announced that he had died, but they can't bury him. I don't know what the logistics are. They can't bury him until the Queen's been buried. So he's just been in like a Walt Disney style cryo chamber, just frozen like the royal fucking catacombs, and has just been hanging out there frozen until they can bury him because the Queen didn't fucking die forever.
It was like, actually, he died last year, so he's been chilling like above ground for like over a year.
No, they announced that he died last year. Evidently, he's been dead for like 3 years, and for whatever reason, they were like
to say longer because he was looking like a propped up corpse for a fucking long time.
No, at least for a couple years. Yeah, they were Weekend at Bernieing him for at least a couple years, and then just last year they announced that he had died. And I don't know if it's like confirmed or conspiracy, but they're like, no, that dude's been dead.
So they just were able to get through like all the photographers,
It's not like it's fucking hard. He didn't look like he had that much life in him when he was alive anyway.
He was a rough-looking character. If it's the dude I'm thinking of, he looked like remember the Crypt Keeper? Yeah,
that's what he looked like.
Crypt Keeper, like a living Crypt Keeper.
It was bad. Well, apparently he wasn't living; he was being burned.
Apparently not.
Apparently not. There you go.
I didn't know that. So yeah, she's going on a world tour.
I'm getting tickets.
Dude, like you better like. I think they're probably already. I don't know. Are you going to be able to make it over there? Like
I've always wanted to see her live, and I think this is as close as it's going to get.
This is it.
The Queen's Dead World Tour.
Well, they were like, I knew she was going to kick the bucket because like she was at her like vacation home or something, like the place that she liked to go, and I was like, oh, if she's there, she's going to die. And then it was like an hour later, it was like, oh. Like, you never really thought that would happen. Like, I really honestly thought she probably
thought she'd live forever, huh?
No, I thought she'd probably honestly make it maybe like another, I'd say like 8 years. Like, that was my, like, I could see her living to 104, but it didn't happen.
I definitely thought at least 100, because it's not like she's 90-something, and, I mean, maybe they wouldn't publicize it if she was, but none of the photos or anything that you see of the Queen over the last few years have been her, in and out of a hospital or, like, looking gravely ill, like her fucking
she really didn't.
Kids and her husband looked dramatically worse. Like she still looked fine. She looked like Betty White level fine,
She was trending. She was trending the day she died. It was Betty White.
Yeah, I was posting some Betty White stuff. I posted one of them. I had Betty White holding a phone and the Queen holding a phone, like they were talking to one another. And people didn't know that they were best friends.
Well, like now, like we have Charles, and have you seen the absolute state of this man? His hands. Let's talk about his hands. Have you seen his hands?
Whose
fucking
hands?
King Edward the New.
He's got weird hands.
King Chuck. I think he has like rheumatoid arthritis or something, but his hands are just red and swollen and porky. Whoa. And they look like cartoony. If you look it up, it looks like it looks like a fucking cartoon. It's really weird.
We used to always say that about Reggie Fils-Aimé, that he had giant sausage fingers.
They are, but they're not even just sausages. Those motherfuckers are like those, those extra fat hot dogs you buy at the store, like the ballpark ones. Like they're really gross, but that's what they look like. And it's the same color. I'm not even kidding. It's just like hot dogs with like fucking fingernails on it. And now he has to put like king rings on it and shit. And they're probably gonna have to get him resized. And the whole thing is it's a mess. The whole thing is a mess. But that's the king now. And I think she held off for a really long time because apparently he's like a gigantic pussy or something. So that's why she wasn't gonna die and like leave it to him. She was like,
I can't
no,
leave the country in
no.
horrible shape, dear. Can't
So
let
that's-
Charles be in charge.
I mean, at this point, let's face it. I mean, as far as like running the country, I mean, I don't know a lot about politics, period, especially like UK politics, but you have like parliament, you have the prime minister. So
Right.
like the royal family's basically been like just really expensive mascots, like
Yeah,
for
they're like
really, really
figureheads.
long
They're
time.
it's real weird what's going
mascots.
on there.
That's it. They do ribbon cuttings. That's what they do. That's what their job is.
That is what South Park made fun of.
No, they did like the royal wedding, but it was like the Canadian wedding. The vat pudding.
That's funny.
Yeah, it was funny. It was actually funny, but you know, it's weird. I think it's just people like the scandal and people like the story of it, and I think that's why like the monarchy hasn't been totally like overturned at this point for so long. I think people just like the drama of it all. It's kind of like watching a soap opera, and I think that's all it really is at the end of the day. It's just people want a shit show, you know, for the tabloids in it, which I think British tabloids compared to like American tabloids
they're ruthless.
They don't give a fuck over there.
I mean, they only have one celebrity couple, and it's the Queen. So
That's
I feel
not
like
true.
feel like the
What's her
bar's
face
lower.
from the Spice Girls and the soccer player. They
Spice
got a lot
Girls.
of they got a lot of press.
Remind me what the Spice Girls
Beckham.
reality TV show is.
Beckham it was one of the Spice Girls.
Wait, did they have a reality TV show too?
I know the one Spice Girl, Eddie Murphy knocked her up. I can't. She was on like those the singing shows.
Oh no.
She was one of the judges on there, and Eddie Murphy knocked her up. I can't remember which one
know
was.
that.
I think it's Scary Spice was the one that was on those. The one that David Beckham married, I think, was Posh Spice. That feels
posh.
right.
Yeah, that's posh. Are they still married?
I
don't
can't
even
think
know.
of-
I don't even know.
I feel like they were like
Wait,
when
so
I think of British like power
that's
couples.
what the tabloids are filled with. Fucking Spice Girls in 2022. They're talking about the fucking Spice Girls.
I mean,
that's
that
not a
one that
thing.
married the soccer guy.
Beckham.
Yeah, Beckham.
Like
I
Becky
feel like
White.
I feel like that one. I feel like that one, Mary and Beckham, kind of kept them relevant for a few more years. But I don't think that the one that got knocked up by Eddie Murphy. I don't feel like people talk about that.
I mean,
Like,
to
nobody
be fair,
cares.
To be fair, like we were like American
When's the
tabloids.
last time
was, like-
anybody talked about Baby Spice?
which one was Baby? Why was her
think she
name
was-
Baby?
Oh God! Now here's the question: can you name all of the Spice Girls? I got Scary. I got
No.
Posh. I got Baby. I feel like there was a Sporty.
Yeah, I
And what
can't,
was the other one?
I can't name any of the Spice Girls.
Oh man. Ooh.
Tell me there wasn't a Sporty. I'm gonna look this.
There's
shit
a
up.
Sporty. I'm gonna say it was Sporty, Scary.
Okay, I just looked it up and
Posh,
Ginger because she had
Spice.
red
She's
hair.
the red-haired. Yeah,
The
Ginger
carpet
Spice.
matched the drapes.
The
Are they
carpet
all
matches
alive?
the
Are any of them
drapes.
dead in rehab?
I
Have
don't
had
know.
scandals? None of that.
Um,
None of that. So what are they talking about? Like I don't see. Like maybe it's just because like
Maybe
you
there's
notice how,
like stuff with Mr. Bean. That just every day it's like Mr. Bean still exists. Rowan Atkinson at it again.
is he like still a topic of discussion too?
I don't know.
Brits are
I have
so
to
boring.
assume as much.
I'm
He's
sorry.
so-
I'm sorry to anybody British
You don't like
listening,
Mr. Bean?
but how much Mr. Bean could you actually get before you're just done?
I could watch about, let's say, I think there are 17 Mr. Bean shorts and 2 movies. I feel like we'll take 17.
That warrants like 30 years of like
I'll
being
take
a topic
17 of those
discussion.
shorts and one of the movies. I feel like the first movie was a little rough. We'll take the second one.
I don't think I've ever seen any. Have you ever seen any of the movies, Samet? I've never seen them. I never even knew there were Mr. Bean movies. I knew about the shorts. But I
Yeah,
never
the
knew
first
there were
movie was the big damn movie goofy thing where it's like, I'm coming to America and I'm Mr. Bean. And he lives with a family and it's really goofy and bad.
Sounds like a Netflix
The second one I believe was a Netflix thing.
Of course.
Mr. Bean's Holiday, but it might not have been. But, Pee Wee Herman's the one that got a Netflix movie.
That was awful. And that was it was unwatchable. It wasn't even watchable.
And Pee Wee Herman was so funny.
Is he dead? He's not dead,
I mean,
is he?
he was funny. Like, I don't know if he's dead, but his career is not in the best shape. It's
if
not
he was
necessarily
literally
alive.
dead, like in the ground dead. Is
Like,
he
I
in the
think
ground
Pee
dead?
Wee Herman as a concept might be dead. I don't know. I feel like does 2022 have room for Pee Wee? Will there be the dark and gritty reboot of Pee Wee Herman?
I don't know, but today's 9/11, and I like the memes, but I think we need some new ones.
Many.
But we need new ones. Some of them are so fucking boring.
We need a new 9/11. You heard it here first, folks.
Oh. Uh-oh. You gotta go through what?
Busted.
Well, I mean, how did you not see it coming?
I would never not see.
You would never not see.
That's right.
Come on. Come the fuck on. Really? Really? Oh my god. I think my brain is just fried today. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like we've gotten way out in the weeds now. Now we're losing
We've gotten way out in the weeds. So
I just woke up. I don't have any direction here.
So I wrote down on my list of stuff to talk about the movie Extro. I watched it. It's a movie about an alien parasite that takes over a man and abducts him. And then years later, the alien comes back to Earth, and it kills a bunch of people and impregnates a woman who then immediately gives birth to a full-grown man. And one of the funniest things I think I've seen in a movie. And it's the guy that got abducted who goes to live with his son, and there's weird stuff there, like he has psychic powers.
Is this the one you sent me the other day?
Yeah, it's the one I was sending you, saying like you got to see this crazy movie.
Horror? Because like I said, we should probably do something
horror,
for Halloween.
But it's weird horror. It's so bizarre, and I feel like there was one episode we talked about like the weird egg fetish stuff. There's some weird stuff with like eggs and women being pregnant and giving birth to like full-sized men.
Is it kind of like the fake eggs that like people put up their snatch and they pass them out, and it's really just like suppositories? It looks kind of like that, but this movie's
from the 80s.
Samantha, you've heard of this, right?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, you don't know about the eggs?
Okay, you go to the Bad Dragon. I think they sell them on the Bad Dragon site, if I'm not mistaken. But
I thought you were still talking about the fucking movie. Yeah, I do know about the Bad Dragon eggs. That's in my realm of expertise.
Oh, you know about the dragon eggs?
Yeah.
Those could work if you're constipated because it's the same. It's basically like the same as like a suppository. So
Wait,
like
what?
If you can't take a shit, or you have a shit that's so hard and it's stuck and it won't come out of your ass.
So you just stick a bad dragon egg up your ass?
It's glycerin. So it could help you shit. It could actually do something to help.
Yeah, glycerin fucking pulls the water out of your bowels and makes you shit. Yeah, that's a thing.
Glycerin suppository, because it's like what a suppository does is like you stick it and then it goes into your poop and then it like melts. Your body heat will like melt it and then you'll be able to like slide it out. So I mean, Bad Dragon eggs, like they could do something. They're not totally degenerate and useless. You know, they could have a purpose if you try hard enough.
It would be an unbelievably weird way to go about solving your constipation, but if you've tried this at home, please send the video
I'm not
into
gonna shove eggs up my ass, Jenna.
realweirdsickos@gmail.com. We would love to see the footage.
Please.
Nobody says you have to do it, Charles. They have people you can hire for that.
All right. Yeah, I'm not hiring anybody for that.
Why not? We don't have to hire. We actually
I've got a
don't have
discount
to hire.
Is there somebody on Fiverr that we just pay? Like, here's $5.
People will
Go
probably
stick
do
these
it
up
for
your
free.
ass and tell us about it. Oh,
people will probably do it for free. We won't have to pay anybody on Fiverr. There are enough people out in the world that it's like, say no more, fam. Here you go.
Surely you'd make the money back by selling the footage. I mean, I don't see how this is a concern.
I don't want to know. I don't want.
Oh, we could
I feel
do
like
that.
sticking things up your ass
They
is
send it to
one of
us, and we own the rights. And we could bring back the shock site. We could bring back the shock site of the early 2000s. We can fucking do this. It could be not like meat spin, but it's like assegg.net. And then you just click on it. Assegg.net. You know?
We'd make a looping GIF.
It's like
of eggs being laid out of someone's ass. And then after like 16 eggs, text pops up and it says, "You are now gay." And we'd be the next meat spin.
And you just fall to your knees like Walter White, like, "Oh God, I'm gay now."
I'm so ready for
That's
it.
how
That's
it works.
actually a good idea. We're gonna do it.
If it lights up and says it on screen, then it's true. That's how it works.
You know, sometimes suppositories don't work. If your shit is hard enough, it won't work. No.
Is that when you have to do the what do they call that? They stick a tube in you. The colonic. High colonic, is that right?
I think that's way past. So here's the thing: I'm a weird level
impacted bowels. If you have impacted bowels, what do you do?
Yeah. So I'm a weird level of knowledgeable on this because when my appendix burst sometime earlier this year, the pain that I was feeling felt like the middle of my stomach, and I was under the impression that I had like gas pains or I was really painfully constipated because it hurt like fuck and I couldn't really understand it. The first day it hurt like hell, and then every day after that it wasn't that bad, and I was like, oh, whatever gas pain must have been clogged up must be slowly moving its way through my system. I should get suppositories or laxatives or something to try and expedite this process because it hurts like hell. In reality, my appendix was inflamed and then it burst, and then I was just walking around and I was like, it didn't hurt anymore because the pressure was gone because it had burst.
Oh my God, how are you alive, my brother?
Should not have been. Like 4 days later, I was like, this feels like too many days of being hurt, and I haven't really been eating or shitting. I no longer think this is constipation. I'm going to drive myself to the hospital. And they were like, yeah, you're probably constipated and your stomach probably hurts because you took so many laxatives and stuff, but we'll go for an x-ray, fuck it. And then they did like a CAT scan or whatever, and they were like, you need surgery like yesterday. And I was like, okay, this makes much more sense than me being constipated. Please send me into
drained?
surgery.
Did they have to put a drain in you? Or were they able to get everything out, like in the surgery?
What is a drain? Because I think I had...
A drain is like just like it's just a tube that they like have kind of haphazardly, very, very lazily stitched into your stomach.
No, I had one of those, No, not in my stomach. So they did it laparoscopically.
Laparoscopic, and it's kind of like below. Yeah.
So they did 2 cuts in my stomach on the left side, one like above my belly button and one below my belly button, but on the left side of my body, right? Like you woke up in an ice bath with a kidney removed. It's like that.
Yep.
So I had 2-inch cuts that were like stitched up. But then when I was out of surgery, I also had a cut like above my dick, and that one had a tube coming out of it and like a drain thing. And they were like, yeah, that's just for blood drainage. And I was like, okay, but I have stitches on these 2 and I don't have stitches on that one. So like, what's the procedure here? Also, I'm awake and there's a thing out of my body. And they were like, just don't worry about it. You're not a doctor. Don't ask these kind of questions. And then like the day before I'm released, I'm in the hospital for like 4 days, 5 days after surgery or something. And they were like, okay, you can go home. And then like a nurse comes in and she just like yanks it out of me. And then she's like, okay, you're good. And I was like, what? Does this not require stitches? I didn't look at it because I had Band-Aids on it for like 3 days. And then eventually I was like, okay, everything seems all right. I'm going to take this off and deal with whatever this is. And there's just like a small, maybe like a 1/4-inch incision and like glue. And I was like, is this how this works?
They don't have to stitch it. Yeah. And then the glue just falls off when it's completely closed.
I'm like poking it now. I think, it's like healed now. But that was weird. I was like, oh, I guess some incisions in your body don't require stitches. That never made sense to me. But
if it's anything that is basically like the rule is anything that's not about 5 centimeters, then they won't actually like stitch it, just slap some fucking surgical glue on it, and then it's purple, and then it'll fall off when it's ready.
Yeah. Anyway, during that time period before I went to the hospital, I was under the impression that I was constipated. So I went through everything from fucking, store-bought suppositories and fucking stool softeners or whatever, all the way up to I went to like a family doctor and I was like, hey, do you have anything stronger than a suppository? Like, I feel like this is an issue. And he was like, we've got this experimental stuff that I'm not allowed to sell yet, but you can have the bottle. And I was like, yeah, fuck it. Okay. And it was basically just a really strong laxative. And it just like pulled a bunch of fucking water out of my body and just like shot it out of my ass. And I was like, okay, I have to feel better now. And then I didn't. And then I went to the hospital. But anyway, laxatives are fucking...
Did you have to take a poo-poo before they discharged you?
Well, I don't understand the question.
So like usually if somebody if they're post-op and they haven't taken a shit yet, they're waiting. Okay, the thing about like nurses, they're waiting for you to shit. You have to either be farting or shitting. We have to make sure it's working down there before we discharge.
Yeah, no, they did make sure I could use the bathroom before I left. But I was in the hospital for like probably close to like 4 or 5 days, and I was like struggling to, but could use the bathroom like without, my organs falling apart like 48 hours after surgery. I was fine.
It's good. So you stuck a lot of things. Did you stick anything up your ass?
Yeah, I used the store-bought glycerin suppository thing. So the reason I did any of this...
You didn't do an enema?
Oh, I did also do an enema, yeah.
Nice.
You did an enema.
So, like...
This town needs an enema.
You stuck things up your ass for no reason.
2 or 3 years before this, the reason I did any of this was because before my appendix exploded, several years before that, I had really bad constipation, and it felt exactly the same because I was having, like, gas pains. I went to a doctor and they were like, yeah, you're constipated. And I was like, this is constipation? Like, I feel like I'm dying. I didn't get any sleep all the last night. I was just groaning in pain, thinking I was dying. And they were like, yeah, it's gas inside your body. Like, it hurts like hell. And it hurts in a way that you're probably not used to because it's in your fucking organs. Yeah, it's a wild one, but yeah, eat more fiber. Don't take laxatives, they said, because they were like, they put a stethoscope to my stomach. They were like, we can hear that stuff is moving. We don't want to apply a bunch of pressure pushing it out necessarily. We want you to, do something to the other end to help it come out rather than like push it through, because that could hurt like hell.
Maybe the reason why it burst because you strained.
No, I mean it. No,
maybe.
So
it was probably just gonna burst anyway.
It burst.
I don't have a medical opinion.
So it burst day one. Day one, I had a stomach ache. 8 hours, late at night, it hurt like hell. And then just like writhing in pain in my bed, it got better. There was this massive point of relief. And I was like, oh, okay. The hardest part of this constipation has moved its way through that blockage. I'm going to be all right. But that was the moment that my appendix had exploded. And then for the 3 days afterwards, where I was just mulling about thinking I had a stomach ache, was when I was going about using suppositories and laxatives and stuff, thinking I was just constipated. So no, I don't think one caused the other. I think if anything, it's because I had COVID like 3 months before, and it probably shot my immune system. And then my appendix was like, yeah, I'm about to head out.
How many times have you had COVID?
Just once, but it was like for 3 weeks. It was like really bad.
Oh, the long COVID.
The long COVID.
I'm still bothered by how the COVID hits different people so differently.
You think you're bothered? Fucking every one of my friends that has had COVID has had it after I got it. I feel like I was one of the first people to get it in the circle of people that I know. And every one of these fuckers has gotten better in like 48 hours.
It's so weird.
There was a 10-day period in that 3 weeks that I was very sick. I dead ass did not get out of bed. I watched season 1 through 14 of Family Guy like 8 times over. I did nothing.
I watched all 3 of the extended Lord of the Rings.
I think I had it before, when everybody was first starting to panic about it. I was really, really, really sick. And this was like early 2020. I was really sick for like probably like 10 days.
Yep.
I'm about 90% sure that's what it was, because it was back when you had like the dry cough, everything. I had everything. And I wasn't just tripping. I knew that I had it. And then I got it again end of last year, end of December. And I had it for probably another week. And then I got it at VidCon.
Bruh.
Yeah.
The COVID-con.
I got it at VidCon, which means my boyfriend got it too. And it was literally like, he was like cool in like 2 days. He was fine. And I was like dying for like a week. I was like, this is so fucking ass. And he's like, I don't know about you, but I feel better. Like, there must be something really wrong with you, because I thought it was fine.
I thought it was the strand or something, because my girlfriend's the one who got me sick, and we were both out for roughly the same amount of time. I was out for like 3 weeks. She was out for like 4 weeks. But then everybody else after that was like getting better within 48 hours. So I was like, oh, maybe I thought either they caught a different strain of it, which makes sense, or I must have gotten it before I got any of the vaccinations for it, and they must have gotten it after they got the vaccinations for it, and so maybe it didn't hit their system as hard as it hit mine. But if you were out for like a week and Muda was only feeling it for a couple days, maybe it's just one's own immune system determining how long it fucks you up
like
for.
The flu sometime in July. Like, we're pretty convinced that it was just like, influenza, and he was out for like 2 weeks.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, that's what COVID felt
shit.
like for me, was just a really bad flu, but then like also exhaustion. That's for the entire time.
Like all the time. But it really pisses me off, because it's like I had gotten my booster probably like the week of like Thanksgiving. So that's like, the end of November. And at the end of December, I fucking have COVID again. And I didn't even do anything differently. Like, I pretty much just like went to work, and I wasn't really out like all that much around that time, and I fucking got it again. So I was kind of super pissed about that. I was like, I just fucking got my booster and I'm getting this shit again. Like, seriously, fuck you. I was
that's pretty upsetting.
So it's kind of like, if there's another booster, I'm just going to say, fuck it. I'm not doing it. Because the booster, like, all the shots make me sick for like 2 days. Like,
I don't think any of the boosters made me sick, but I got them after I had gotten full-blown COVID. So maybe I was, maybe I'm just remembering it wrong. Wait, maybe I was sick for like a day after I got the first one. I don't remember. I remember like recording a video or doing like an extra long stream like the day before because I was like, hey guys, I'm getting the shot tomorrow. Evidently, it's supposed to fuck me up for a couple days, so I might not be on. And then I remember being on like the next day.
It was the first one kind of fucked me up for, I don't know. I think it was probably like 2 days. And then the second one, they're like, oh, the second one's like way worse. I was out for like probably like 4 or 5 days. Like I just was like really bad, like just wanting to sleep, weak and wanting to sleep, chills. I mean, I don't even have like a lot of recollection of like the first like 2 days, like after getting my second shot. And then the third one, it was probably like 2 days I was out. And then I still got it. And like, you know what? If they fucking make another booster, like fuck this fucking bullshit. I'll get it if it's like, if they made it like a travel requirement, I would get it. I would just suck it up and get it. But like, they're not doing that. So I'm like, to hell with this shit. I'm not fucking getting it.
No, I think the first one gave me like a sore arm for a while, like for like half a week or something. But I don't think what was stupid, or maybe not stupid, what was slightly funny was I think the first or second time I went in for a shot, it's like, you know, these big volunteer areas with just like random old people that aren't doing anything with their day. So they're just like giving out COVID shots to fill up their schedule with. And I had like this old Asian guy and he was like, I'm like a relatively hairy dude, right, on my arms. So he gives me the shot and then he was like, do you want the Band-Aid? And I was like, no. I was like, no, it's fine. Like, it's a relatively small needle. I'm not bleeding. Like, I think I can skip the Band-Aid. And he was like, yeah, good idea. Good idea. You have a lot of monkey hair on your arm. It would hurt to take off. And I was like, you're lucky. I was like, you're lucky I'm going to do a funny Asian accent when I tell this story later. Because that feels like an offensive ass thing to just randomly say to me.
Yeah, he could have called you a werewolf man or something. Like, that would have been fun.
Yeah, but that's not as funny in Chinese folklore. So we had to go with monkey hair.
Yeah, they don't have werewolves in China.
I felt like I was on a reality. I was like, is this set up? Am I being punked? Like,
picture Howie Mandel somewhere in the corner.
Do you guys not vet these idiots? What the fuck?
Ashton Kutcher's like somewhere in the back, just like watching and giggling, like on a screen, and he's gonna come out and
he's like, "Ha! I got you." And you don't get this reference because you're not in your 30s. Thank you, Ashton.
That show was fucking awful. It was fucking awful, and everybody started to know it. That's why they had to end it. Because like everybody started guessing like they were being punked, so they would stop because people were like, "This is just too fucking ridiculous."
That's so
fucking
wild
Beyonce.
to me.
It was Beyonce. Beyonce was the first one that was like, "This is not real. This is fucking punked, isn't it?" And they were like, "Oh, you
I remember
got
the Scrubs
us.
guy, the puss from Scrubs. He got really huffy with somebody, right?
Okay, because the premise was
they fucked up his car or something.
it was
right?
Zach Braff from Scrubs, right? Like
yeah, the lead
dude, the goofy guy. And like he had like a Porsche or some shit, and some kid like fucked with it somehow, but nothing really happened. And he got mad and almost beat the shit out of this kid. They had to come out and be like, no. It's punked. This guy's an actor. And it was like, you know, like that's what it goes wrong. That's why you can't do like fucking pranks. That's why it's like pranks on YouTube that go wrong too, unless everybody's in on it. Like somebody's gonna get hurt.
Yeah, those things give me fucking anxiety.
Do prank videos, I thought everything was like automatically like either age restricted or taken down if the word prank was in it. Whatever happened to that? Because I think those are back. Pranks are back.
I did not know they were taking that harsh of a stance on
back,
pranks.
Huh?
They did that.
What about
like
gags? What about capers? What about gaffs?
Capers?
I don't know if any of those have ever been trending YouTube
capers?
topics.
How about some cringe?
It's just a caper, bro.
It's just a gag, buddy.
It doesn't roll off the tongue, Charles.
That's another reason why my recommendeds are fucked. I was watching like some video on Tess Holiday probably like a couple of weeks ago, and then all of a sudden,
Holiday?
She's that fat positive model, whatever.
Okay.
Where she says she's anorexic. I shit you not. Like she's.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Was she on like a British talk show or something?
She might have been. She's not British. She's American.
She's just a big woman, huh?
And she talked about her struggle with like being anorexic, and I just,
yeah, of course.
I that's a whole nother. But I watched some video about her. I don't know. And now all I get in my recommendeds too, along with Family Guy funny moments, is like the TikTok fat acceptance cringe compilations. Like those are a thing now.
Yeah.
Like they're the new like wrecked feminist ones.
It's like fats of TikTok.
Dude, I wish YouTube could tell the difference between like me going down the rabbit hole or wanting to watch something and like me hate watching somebody. Like it's so because like I will
fuck you up.
Yeah, I will relatively frequently look up people that I don't enjoy watching or that I don't feel like make good content but have, you know, big audiences, and I want to see like, okay, you've got like a very punchable face, you've got a very douchey atmosphere to everything you do. But if you're going to get to 500,000 subscribers, you know, 400K, 200K, 50K, whatever, like I'd like to see the things that you do right that work despite your ungodly offensive personality or air around your content or whatever, right? Yeah. So I'll watch like a video and then YouTube will be like, dude, do you want to see the rest of this fucking video? No, I don't want to watch the rest of this. Do you not see the rest of my fucking recommendations? I thought you had an advanced algorithm. Clearly this is not in my wheelhouse of stuff. I'm watching this as a hate watcher. I got to watch one of their videos and then be careful not to watch like 4 or 5 of them in a row.
You're going to get fucking notifications on them.
You got to back out right away. You got to refresh until you see one of their videos pop up on your homepage. Then you got to tell them, hey, I'm not interested in this. Get the shit out of my algorithm. And then do it all again every week. At this point, there's no real difference between hate watching and just watching.
If you do hate watch somebody a couple of times, I've noticed even if you're not sub to them, but you start getting notifications. So and so is live. I don't give a fuck. Why am I getting this fucking notification? Like, stop it. And then you'll tell YouTube to stop it. Don't give me any more of this content. And then they keep giving it to you. It's like you can't even hate watch. It's like, okay, I guess I'm going to have to hate watch incognito mode now. I think that's what we have to do. So that's what I've been doing. If I want to hate watch somebody and I don't want their shit in my recommendeds, then it's incognito because it's the only way to get around it. Otherwise, they're just going to flood you. And the people that so-and-so's viewers also watch this piece of shit. So it's like, no, I don't want this. I don't want it.
So it's like watching all the jabronis that are knockoffs of them.
I like it. I think it works for like most YouTubers because it's like most people will be in some relatively describable genre or box where it's like, yeah, sure. If you like this dude, you'll like my stuff. If you like my stuff, you'll like this dude.
Yeah.
But I hate it when it's like you're just like a personality channel like myself where it's like, hey, I'm just making videos on whatever I find interesting. And it's like, oh, you're going to make a video on a dude who murdered people in Roblox? Perhaps you'd like this Roblox channel. And it's like, YouTube, no, that's like the opposite of what you would like in this case. This is the wrong thing to do. But then they'll be like, I don't know, man, you had Roblox in the title and it's about serial killers and child predators. So yeah, let's put it next to fucking this dude who's been uploading, you know, fucking child-friendly Roblox content for the last 5 years. And then suddenly, like, your video goes fucking nowhere and it gets no views because, of course, it fucking doesn't because you're making it about a child predator that happened to use Roblox to find their fucking victims and you're sticking it in front of fucking 9-year-olds looking for Roblox mods.
That sounds like a Gamer from Mars video.
Exactly. I mean, I'm sure he bumps into it quite frequently, but... That's not the best. That's not the best system you got there, buddy.
It's I don't because hate watching is something that you have to do no matter what. You know, because it's like you'll talk about somebody, you'll go, you know, so and so, like they're kind of bad, they're kind of shitty, they make awful shit. Let me go see what they're doing. Oh my god, just as I thought, it's shit.
Yeah.
And then when you kind of just like scroll through it, you're like. I don't want to give them AdSense, but like I have to see if it's still as horrible as it's been. Like, you know, when you go back to check on somebody that you hate and you want to see what they're doing months later, and in much to your surprise, absolute fucking shock, they're doing the same exact thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't get it. There are people that with you know, that like there's a rise and fall YouTuber that has like zero personality. It's just like you have to see how they open their shitty video and if they've changed it at all.
You know, liking Garfield is a personality.
Is it
though? Is it?
No, it isn't.
No, I mean I don't know how it is for like people who don't make YouTube videos, but like as somebody whose like job this is, I definitely look at it as like, you know, you can obviously learn a lot from watching people that like make what you consider to be good content and see what they do well and maybe what you can incorporate into your own style. But yeah, like watching people that you don't think make good content, but despite that still have success on the platform, I think also has a lot to learn from it, where you can see like, hey, maybe, if Twitter hates somebody, or if generally speaking, there's a huge community of people that don't really like somebody on YouTube, but they continue to get hundreds of thousands or millions of views, whatever is big in their category, like they're clearly doing something right, whether it is to garner an audience or to keep people watching or to make interesting enough content beyond whatever you might not like about their personality or what they've done in the past. And then, like that's also important to see, right? Because there could be a lot of people who are making relatively low effort kind of shit videos that people are going to watch because they used to make good videos or because they're relatively liked people on the internet. Your PewDiePies or your Moist Criticals or whatever. If anybody did a vlog just driving around in Japan, if anybody just sat in front of their computer just talking about something the way that Critical does, the way that PewDiePie does, they wouldn't get anywhere near that many views. But those guys do because they've spent such a long time garnering that audience. There's probably an opposite to that of people that are like not interesting or right away you're not going to enjoy what they're doing, but the content that they're making is so intriguing, engaging, whatever. It's like, listen, I don't care who's presenting this information. The information itself is like, I want to watch this video. And then obviously if you have both of those things, then you end up as a Mr. Beastie Boy.
Oh boy. I can't, I don't know what happened. I guess something happened at fucking VidCon that was really cringy. I never found out what happened. It was when he was out there doing that. I need to ask around more about that. But, I like, as far as like, there's a lot of things where I just don't understand. And I think I've been so, I don't know, kind of removed from a lot of YouTube stuff over the last like couple months. You know, when you just get kind of sick of it, where you're just like, I don't really care. You know, it's like the Deaf Noodles
all the time.
It's the Deaf Noodles thing. I can't tell you a goddamn thing about Deaf Noodles. I don't know why initially. I mean, obviously, like he's unfunny, but people care about him so much, and I don't know how that started, and I don't know how that ended up.
Yeah, I don't know who he is outside of people hating on him on Twitter. I don't know what he does or who he is.
We ditched his event last week because let's put it this way: a room full. It was 100 degrees last weekend. Okay, let me preface by saying that it was the hottest week in Southern California last weekend, and he's cramming 40 people into a hot box. There's a lot of hostility. There's a lot of goofy players in there. There's people there to start shit.
This is another one of those comedy things that Critical's been making videos about. He's doing these weekly.
We were gonna go. I guess so. We were gonna go. But it was kind of like there was just a lot of people out to like start shit. Like, and it was like, you know what? What if something happens? And then somebody, I guess one of the guys said he was gonna shoot another guy, or kind of alluded to that. And it was like, but what if something bad does happen? And then you have to spend like your night like giving fucking police statements or something worse. You know, like you don't know people. And there was a low probability of it, but it was a shit show. And it was just like, I still don't understand why people hate Deaf Noodles. I don't get it because I don't care. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, that sounds dangerous.
He just seems like a jabroni. That's why I don't like him, because like every time I've seen him, it's the worst take. And he's always doing shit that's like didn't he fake swatting or something?
I guess,
no clue.
No,
I mean, they had like a stripper show up, but they were saying that he was being swatted.
No idea what the whole
they're doing a lot of like heel
swatted
tactics, like heel program stuff. Like you can't do that.
People are like obsessed, and I mean, I muted that on my Twitter feed like a long time ago. Like usually, if something kind of keeps going and going and going, I'll just mute it. Like I did the same thing with like John Swan. Like, I just don't give a fuck about any of it. Just get it the fuck off my timeline.
I hate watching John Swan. I wish he would upload more just to keep seeing his numbers go down. I really do.
I mean,
he was very nice when he came on this show. I liked him. I don't know.
I was cool.
I don't know
for
him
a while.
that well.
I think he should just stay off of Twitter and go make something else.
Just stay off of Discord. That's where the trouble was for him.
Stay off of Discord. Stay off of Twitter. Make videos. Don't make, I really honestly hope that like this whole drama commentary genre just fucking dies. And I think it is. It's definitely, I think it's dying.
That's basically what it is. I think there's lots of people who make, they do like these live streams and stuff just talking over every bit of drama that's been updated or anybody's talking about that week. Like, it's this self-fulfilling cycle of like, dude does thing, fuels this tiny commentary group of people that have made a name for covering all this drama that then gets more people riled up to fucking put their opinions into this. And it's weird because it's like just a small circle of people talking amongst each other, turning little bits of drama into like the trending thing on Twitter that week, and just keeps happening.
They'll drag it out. Yeah. They'll drag it out. And anybody who's like, I mean, I get it if that's what people like and then that's what people do, fine. But I think for the most part, for me, like, I just don't care. I just don't care what's going on with people. Like,
I mean, the thing that I like about,
it was just kind of like,
Sorry, go on.
No, I was done.
Oh, the thing that I like about John Swan's thing is I don't mean to be rude. I don't care, but the thing with John Swan's thing is I like that his numbers are going down, but his editing is still good. That's my best part about that. Because everybody that I see say something about John Swan, like they don't want to say, oh, he's a good person, oh, he makes interesting topics or whatever, because both of those situations are murky, right? It's hard to say he's a good dude in all aspects of life. Yeah. And it's hard to say that he picks interesting topics because, I mean, it's just drama. Like you're either watching it to fulfill 45 minutes while you're washing the dishes or you're not. Like it's not going to overtake your life or be the most interesting thing that happened that day.
Yeah. And it's not going to be any different than the 5 other people have made videos on the same topic.
Exactly. But everybody wants to be like, oh, but he's such a good editor. He could definitely be a YouTuber if he just avoided the drama because he's such a good editor. His editing's just as good as it always has been. And his numbers are dog shit because your editing doesn't matter. I don't know. I love this point because this is like the philosophy that I figured that I would follow. And I think I said this earlier, is I don't want to make videos that I don't feel like I can continue to make going forward. I don't want to end up in a situation where I'm doing all this editing and my videos suddenly take 3-4 weeks to make because I'm covering memes and like internet news. Like you can't be uploading once a month and doing a good job of covering everything that happened. You know what I mean? You got to, at the very least, uploading every week.
You got to bang it out like you did with the peach meme like a couple of weeks ago. You banged that out in like less than 24 hours.
You got to be relevant.
Yeah, you did.
90% of whether or not anybody's going to watch your video is going to be, if you're on top of it, if you're there in a timely manner. Like, nobody cares if your video's better, but it's last week's news. Like, they would prefer you just go full moist critical and just do absolutely no editing, but, like, be the first dude to explain everything that's going on. Because people, it's news. It's new. You got to be quick to it. So, like, I feel like John Swan is an excellent example of this, where he puts out a video talking about the fall of Mixer months after, people aren't talking about it anymore.
Done.
People make,
who gives a shit about Mixer?
Makes a video about the PC company that fell apart.
Canceled.
Yeah. Listen, find a better edited video on those topics. You won't. The dude is a good editor. But peaked at 30, 40,000 views and it took him 2 months to put together the video? Like, do you need a better example of why you shouldn't be taking longer to put out your videos? Put down the editing software, stop fucking paying for plugins, and just upload more, bro. Yeah, I get more videos talking about wanting to fuck a Vaporeon. I barely put any editing in it. I did that in 3 hours.
Yeah.
It's a good video, too.
Me personally, I don't go watch YouTubers that I watch for their editing. Good editing can be appreciated. While I'll say that, good editing is definitely appreciated. But that's not the main reason I'm returning to somebody's channel. If I don't like you and I don't like your personality, then I'm not going to click on you. I don't give a fuck how good your editing is. Don't give a shit, Yeah.
I mean, I think people just forget what editing is the thing. Here's an hour into this podcast. Here's a very interesting, and I promise you the most helpful bit of editing information you will need if you're trying to get good on YouTube. Okay, your editing is not. If you can Google how to edit something, you can download a plugin, you can watch a tutorial on how to do it. That's not editing. Okay, that's like the sprinkles on top of the cake. Okay, anybody can look up how to key out a green screen, how to edit a meme to something, how to make your text turn rainbow and do waves, how to zoom in on somebody's face and make it orb-like. And do the funny high-pitched voices and everything. That's not what editing is, okay? If you truly want to learn how to edit, right? And this is dead ass. I didn't do this in film school, or I didn't go to film school, but like if I had to teach somebody how to edit, this is what I would do, okay? Have a conversation with yourself. Stick a camera in your face, talk to your camera. Just pretend you're ordering a coffee and play both characters. Hey, I'd like a coffee. Oh, hey, or fucking, wait, do it right. Hey, welcome to Starbucks. Hey, I'd like a coffee. Cool, what size? Just go through a Starbucks order, play both characters, and then edit that conversation. That's it. Cut out the dead space, zoom in the way that you need to, flip the screen so you can get both characters and learn to take a thing of film and turn it into a story. Make it have fluidity. And the first time you're going to do it, it's going to feel like fucking shit because you don't know how to edit. And then once you do it 3, 4, 5 times, you'll be like, this is how it looks on TV. This is why they zoom in like that. This is why they don't leave that weird bit of space. Or this is why they make this dude start talking before the camera cuts to that dude, because then your ears hear it and then your eyes see it, and it's not jarring to have both happen at once. And then you're done. Don't add any pictures. Don't add any zooms. Don't download any plugins. If you edit your videos with just that mindset of, I need to turn this into a story, I need you to be able to get from the beginning of this to the end of this without feeling like any part of your sound or your eyes or your attention was drawn away from the video, you have edited that video better than 99% of YouTubers. I promise you. No level of paid plugins or colorful text or a bunch of fancy dancing cats on the screen is going to do more than that absolute baseline there. That's what 90% of people get wrong.
That's perfect, man. Like, that's so succinct. I know Kudos has talked about that, about get to the point, like faster, funnier, like don't fart around with stuff. But people, I feel like people just don't listen.
Yeah.
Because what you're saying is so clear and so succinct.
Like, just
like that's
look at your best YouTubers and then look at what they do. Like, when you see a Moist Critical video, they're not unedited. They're not zero cuts. There are edits. Like, just pay attention to where his voice fades out. Pay attention to where there's a little jump cut that changes his face. There's never going to be a moment where he's not making a hilarious metaphor or giving you an explainer. There's no dead time. There's no zero period. There's no moment in time where he's not talking to make you think, why am I still watching this? Because if you think that, there's a billion other videos you could be watching and you might click on something else. And him and his editor know to not let that happen at any point. Same with PewDiePie. Same with Mutahar. Same with fucking Emp Lemon. Like, that's exactly the important thing. Once you have that down and you decide to add all the extra shit on top of it, then like you can set yourself apart in terms of like your personality and like, oh, this feels like an Emma Chamberlain video. Oh, this feels like a fucking Casey Neistat video. You can do that on top. Yeah. But the reason that these people can get away with just a camera on their face and absolutely nothing else is because they know that baseline bit of storytelling is in place and they're going to do that part right. And that's why
the mechanics.
Exactly right.
Yeah, that's why you can see like apology videos get millions of views, makeup tutorial videos get millions of views. There's no downtime. Either you're watching them do the eyeshadow and that's really intriguing, or you're listening to them talk about the fucking drama in the beauty community and that part's intriguing. Next thing you know, 45 minutes is gone. Like, that's not an accident. They know what they're doing.
Yeah, you're
I
right.
love
You're
it.
totally right.
That's a perfect beat for us to end on. SumitoMedia is such a great guy. I love Sumito. He's our guy. He's our pal. He's our friend. I believe in him. If you want to find out about memes, he's covering memes and meme accessories.
His
videos have just the right amount of editing.
If you see an anime horny post on Twitter, I can guarantee you he's retweeted that shit.
That's me. That's what I use Twitter for.
That's that's probably a good use of Twitter compared to what other people are doing. It's crying all the time. Jenna,
today 9/11 memes. Let's fucking go.
Jenna, what are you up to? Have you got something to plug? Some real weird sickos?
I haven't been doing shit lately, but I'm getting back into it, so leave me be.
Oh, God, I'm posting memes everywhere, all day, every day. I'm just trenched in memes. TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. I'm even on the outlaw stuff, Minds and Getter. I want to branch out into Rumble and Odyssey and BitChute. I want to be everywhere. I want to blanket the world in content. And Sumito's lit a fire in my ass with just enough editing. That's what we're going to go for. Just the bare minimum, just the absolute bare minimum. That's what you want. All right, so that's it. We're done. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.